Hello everyone, welcome back to more VampYr, and welcome to the West End. Yeah, that was interesting. Believe I... So that was quite... that market there is for the last of the 4 Braille, documents written in Braille. Which we will bring to as part of a side mission when we can get access to that. I've tried it a couple of times and I think I've just got to progress. That's it. Progress further in the story before I can get it. Or at least access the location. So I left myself a reminder. Shei-shun, once we talk with him, we will also make contact with Shei-shun officially and learn about her life in Whitechapel. Now with those things, I managed to take out the last of the Paxton sisters here. I did die just afterwards, but luckily the game had already recorded that she died, so which I was very grateful for. So it actually meant that, and because I've been healing people, I've got to go back and heal some more as well, which I'll do off camera. It was about 58%, so it's nearly just serious. It's not entirely critical, so it's not going to be quite as bad. So I've leveled up anyway to level 25, had 8,000 XP to use, so that was fantastic. I healed these to keep that citizen healthy. Yes, citizen. District. Wow, that's not very brilliant. Because I've been taking good care of the citizens in Whitechapel, it's actually stable. I'm really pleased about that, so I've taken really good care of that. I'm going to try and keep that into the stable. Going to work quite hard on that. Come across some characters as well. So he is a butler. She's someone who we need a higher mesmerize level to even talk to. She basically kicks us out, kicks us away from the door, so we can't go anywhere near it anyway. So, and this is a side mission I will explain afterwards. But I might as well just say quickly, this is the Reed Mansion that you are seeing right now, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, let's go to the Shadow Cabinets and present ourselves to the Ascalon Club. I've done a bit of exploring, but yeah, I think I might wait before I need to level up before I start going a bit wild with checking people out. I actually tried a new methodology, and it seems to have worked rather well. I haven't bothered to take out very many of the pre-win. I have been focusing on skulls, or at least luring skulls or Econ to the pre-win, and it's actually starting to help. So they're basically vampire hunters, the pre-win. So why should I bother attacking them or let them do their job and help me? Not that they're helping me, but you know what I mean. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone in a sense there. So I've increased my stamina level as well. Anyway, I'll shut up and we can all listen.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Well, we'll talk to him first since he's...
Welcome to the...
Oh, typical. We can't just talk to him as soon as we walk in.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
Okay, so we can't talk to him until we've talked to Lord Redgrave. Okay. I suppose that makes sense in games. You have to get through a certain, checkpoint as such in the game if we can actually talk or discuss things. That's actually the way it is in some Assassin's Creed games as well. I'm just making sure we can't collect anything straight off the bat. No. So I'll quickly check some of this out. You never know what you can find in these places. Oh, that's why. Excuse me. Huh. 1837 was founded. Wow. Earl of Pembroke, William Marshall. Huh. Okay, interesting. Alright, there's nothing else in there. We will go and attempt to make contact with Lord Redgrave. Does it matter which way we go? A good dagger. So in actual fact, Giselle's dagger is actually better. Okay. Alright, fair enough. Okay, around the other side we go then. I think we'll probably have to go in there, do we? Oh no. Well, let's take a chance. Oh, I was correct. We don't go in. Should I say, this is not where we meet him anyway. Right. Okay. Because it's good to actually investigate these things. Because it's surprising how much, there's usually investigation tools you can find around here. For hints, Nothing else there. Okay. Oh.
Good evening.
My good friends, if I may have your attention, behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed, newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
I would say this one.
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Scowl Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Ooh. Well, I'm not sure with this one. I'm tempted to go, why suddenly so friendly? Oh god, this is difficult. Actually, why me? Let's for sake of it.
Why do you suddenly need me?
The Ascalon Club only recruits the best, and you definitely fit the bill. Your scientific and medical reputation alone would qualify you as a candidate.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed. But first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
He's just stuck up. You can sort of tell, so I'll forgive him because he thinks he's so high and mighty, but no, I don't. I reckon we'll go with that.
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Yeah, questions, thank you very much.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
It's almost like a storytelling, isn't it? Interesting.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Ooh.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
I'm trying to turn the camera around, but it seems locked to it, so I do apologise. I have been trying since while we've been having these conversations, those two, but I can't get the camera around, just in case any of you are wondering.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
Oh, don't suppose we have too much of a choice in that regard, do we?
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
Almost. That's very, what's that? Not fickle, but, self-centered. That's a good way of putting it. I suppose we consent to join.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Econ as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Econ, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Fellow, do that.
I
Wait.
personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign Econs. This is an outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
I was chased by a gigantic Valcon 2 nights ago. I thought it was Fergal coming back, but no. That creature barely spoke English. Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
But considering all that's happened, it's nice to be initiated, not attacked or blamed, so yeah, I'd say perfectly fine for the sake of it.
I feel perfectly fine. Do I have cause for concern?
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Ah,
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
I see. Well, intriguing. Trying to think of something other than interesting, but it is intriguing. I suppose when you do admire a club of immortals like vampires, you probably would, consider it, if you want one yourself, consider a sickness being the aging process. So it is intriguing.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Wow, okay.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Oh, pity.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
Intriguing it all is indeed.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries, but I must admit, this one is my favorite.
For one considers his own age a sickness, I can understand that, actually.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in, to cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
Yeah.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Well, he could have given us his own personal insight or opinion. It's a shame.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
Well, I suppose at least they are targeting vampires of sorts, but they're also targeting Ekon, so only half doing a good job. From the Ascalon Plus perspective, anyway.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that is unfair. Back in those days, that was considered quite normal, but I think we should grow beyond that, frankly.
But that would segregate the rich from the poor, would it not? It would be unjust.
Our only course of action must be to save England. And to save England, we have to make sacrifices.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns. Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
I think he did forget that we are a doctor of medicine, and he obviously doesn't realise that we only just... I'm assuming this is scaled by possibly weeks, maybe months. I'm assuming. So in that context, we've only recently become a vampire, an Econ. So he should know better. Can't talk to him? Ah, bugger. Fine, we'll talk to Lord Redgrave then.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Econ. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Bearer.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
Fair enough.
You were spying on me.
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
Well, that's interesting to note.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Well, that's good to know. On many levels.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the skulls.
Let's be honest.
I have met peaceful and wise skulls. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Skulls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Econ a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
I know we're facing a crisis, but I'm shocked no one took the time to clean up the mess inside the club since we were attacked.
I must admit the Guard of Prewen impressed me. They must have spent years preparing their plan.
Can we talk to them? God damn it. Okay. Can we talk to the guy downstairs then?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
No, we can't talk to him? Damn it. Right. Well, that helps. Because I wanted to go and talk with most of the citizens and people inside the Reed Mansion anyway, so that coincides perfectly. Come on, load already. So over here, water trickling in the background at times. I'm just thirsty at the moment, so gotta keep hydrated.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
I just want to check something quickly. Aloysius, excuse me. Aloysius Dawson. I might just call him Mr. Dawson. I don't know if I'll pronounce that name correctly too many times. I just want to check where this mission ends up. Oh, that one. Okay. Interesting. Actually, for the sake of it, I better just explain why I'm curious about that. Where is it? There you go. So this Aubrey Reed, this is, I'm assuming, his father. Well, I find out the truth. Now, if you're the other way, that's the way to access the last rail, but it's also filled. Those bastard Priyan. Yeah, I'm not going to go that way yet. I'll probably do that off camera. Since we're coming to the end of this episode soon, or soonish. Okay, so gotta go in here, do we? beast. Over here, is it? Oh, it must be underneath the bridge itself. Oh, let me guess. Let's see. Oh, we can't. God damn it, why can't we access it? Oh, that was a shame. I'd have to fiddle with that off camera then. Sorry about that, I thought that would have been a bit more obvious to find. Anyway, I know there's an eavesdrop observation in our house, so I've just gone past it. I'll just turn the investigation off for now. Welcome to the Reed Mansion. Because you go inside the room, there's actually an eavesdrop mission. She goes in. Unless you go and talk to some other local. Oh, of course you have to stop there, don't you? Alright, well, we'll go and talk to the butler then. Don't totally waste the time.
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan, I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
Good. At least he's healthy.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
That's very loyal. We do appreciate that.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
I see.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avery?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did. Do you know why he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir. So my task is not over.
Well, we have other things to do, so... yeah.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
Oh, wow. Oh, we got the hint. Oh, that would be for the, what do you call it? The side mission, I think.
You really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
Yeah, this.
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind, I'm sure we will find an arrangement that suits your mother also.
Good. Yeah, that is for the side mission, other one.
I'm currently investigating sources of the epidemic in this part of town. Do you know anything useful?
Not really, except all the Macpherson's servants resigned a few days ago. They feared becoming infected, they said.
The Macphersons? Where do they live?
I think it's a rich house near the railway bridge in the southern part of the district.
Interesting.
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan. But please return as soon as possible.
Alright. Now, has she actually onto the room or she's stuck back there? I might as well make contact
Bring
with
me
her.
my glasses.
Mother, good evening.
Jonathan, is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, but this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She's gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Grandson? What? What?
Father seems to have left me some documents. Some sort of treasure hunt game. Do you know anything about them?
No, Johnny. But your father always loved to write these little games for you when you were a boy. Don't you remember?
I remember now. He used to post me these riddles, as though they were sent by a mysterious games master. I'd spend weeks trying to decipher them.
Your father was always so proud each time you found the answer. He was not just the serious doer banker everybody thought he was.
I was proud too. How could I forget that?
The important thing is that you remember it now. I'll tell your father the next time I see him. He'll be so happy.
Could Father have conceived some sort of final game for me before he left?
I really can't say, Johnny. Perhaps you should talk with Avery about that. He was your father's confidant, more than I.
I see.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson and my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
Hang on, where's this grandson and son-in-law she's talking about? What's going on? Unless that's Mary. Oh, it could be talking about Mary. We don't hear much about that.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Tell me, Mother, how are you? All alone in this big house with only Avery to take care of you.
I'm sad most of the time. Sad that you have left me here alone. Sad that you don't tell me when you come or go.
I'm so sorry, Mother. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was coming home. I was home. London, the Thames. And then it happened.
What happened, Johnny?
Yeah, I say this one.
I lost my way. Somewhere between the boat and the house, my life changed completely.
You should have told me, Johnny. I would have understood. You always were a secretive little boy.
Sometimes you have to lie for the sake of it. At least for these characters, anyway.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she's also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
That's good to know.
Do you think Avery is right? Do you think I should take better care of you?
I don't blame you, but you abandoned me, son. A mother should not survive her children. It's unbearable to know you're not here anymore.
I know I have failed you since I returned. I even watched you bury Mary from a distance. From now on, I will protect you. You have my word.
You don't have to apologize to me, Johnny. Do you think I did not notice how much you have changed?
Have I changed that much, Mother? Am I still your son?
You are still, and you'll always be. Despite your pale skin, your bloody eyes, and that echoing sadness in your voice.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon.
Alright. On that note, we'll end this part here. See you next time.